Hello everyone, welcome to the new subscribers, and it's nice to have the old subscribers back. This is an unusual video in that I have not done one before, but I have had some messages with regard to going through and doing a sticker organisation video. And so that is what I'm going to do for you. So at the moment I'm just sort of generally showing you the shelf that I have that contains my albums. So across the bottom I have some A5 folders that I picked up at our local Officeworks, and they house things like sticker kits in categories and some of my vellums and inserts and various other things, and I'll take you through those as we go. And then on this shelf is also a little box with some small little trinkets, bits and pieces, charms and different things that I sometimes have a little look into when I'm setting up a new planner and adding the different charms and things to it. But basically all of these folders on here have a purpose, and I'm just going to go through. It's not a particularly long video, I'll try and keep it short. But these ones here are all my foiled stickers, and I have these set out in gold, silver and rose gold. So the three categories. And in each category there are a couple of different sticker books. This one here is a book devoted to Crafts by Towie because she has some of my favourite icons. So just on the bottom of that I've got foiled Crafts by Towie, and that particular folder, of which I've got the three different sizes, came from Little Thoughts on Etsy. Such a pretty little folder, or a little album. This one here is a collab with Sadie's Stickers and I think Miss Meow, and that's also a really sweet one. I tend to buy the sticker albums if they're appealing to me. The ones that are plain I often have received in stashes or something like that, like the one you just saw, and that's where I keep all of my Simply Gilded stickers. And you could see that that was just a plain sticker album and it didn't have a cover. So this one here, I have three of these and they are from Sadie's Stickers, and I have those in the gold, rose gold and silver, and they hold my silver stickers. So in this case, this particular album holds all of the dividers, both some that I've printed of my own, some that come off printables, and then others of course that I've purchased from sticker makers, and they are my dividers. And towards the back of that I've also got drops and swags. They tended to get rather big in my initial album, so I had to change them out. Now these were the albums I first started with. I haven't even finished it yet. I haven't put the silver bit on the back. But these are just little Kmart albums and they're only $2. And when I first started off with stickers, Monique from Monique Plans recommended these to me, and they were a great idea. And I used to have all of my stickers in here, but as the collection grew, sadly these didn't fit the bill anymore. So this little book holds my florals towards the back, and then towards the front of that I've also got some other stickers, and they're sort of divided in half. And as I said, I've got them in each of the three colours, and I've just put a bit of washi tape on the end of those to indicate what I keep in there. And I will go back and add another piece of silver tape. So I'm just showing you the silver ones at the moment. So these albums are from Tender Designs. Now I've put the little foiled bow at the top, and these contain all my icons and scripts, and I've alphabetized them. So this one's from A to H. And in the front of the album, I've actually printed the list of what is in them. And normally I would have the script on one side and the matching icon on the other. So scripts, icons, and so on as you go through the book. So there's bows, and there are various different bows, clipboards, coffees, corners. As you can see, edit. I'm just going through in alphabetical order, full boxes, and so on. And that little design there, as I said, is from Tender Designs. That's an Australian shop. She was closed for a little while. I believe she's going to open up again. I think she had the happy occasion of getting married, so she's had her shop on a break for a while. So all of the silver ones, and these are the H to P, they are all in this little bow design with the various planner things on them. So as you can see again, as I go through, their headers, health, hearts, icons, mandalas, and so on and so forth, meals, planning, months, pets, planning, etc. And so they are how I store them. And I do this same process for each of the colorways. So again, silver bow on there indicating it's a silver group, and that's how it goes. So for the gold group, I have a gold bow on the ends. I also mark it with the alphabet on the end, and that those 3 sets are in the peony design. That's the planner design that I showed you earlier, which has got lovely blues and pinks, and these hold all my icons and matching scripts. And I've got 3 folders, one with A to H, H to P, and P to Z, with a little list at the front, which I've had to change here and there as as things have expanded, or I've got something I haven't had before. So shopping, sleep in, vitamins, voiceover, and work at the end of that. And so that's the way I keep my foiled icons and their matching foiled scripts. So that whole section up there. Now this particular cupboard you're looking at is actually 2 cupboards, and they're from IKEA. They're not a particularly expensive unit. You'll see later on when I do a room tour that the majority of the things in my room are in fact from IKEA. These are called PAL. They're not, as I said, they're not expensive, and they're not too huge. The moment I've got them sort of sticking out, but I am in a smaller room than I have had before, and at some stage in the not too distant future I'm going to go into something bigger. So all my rose gold is in the marble design. So they're the 3 designs of the 3 colorways: the peonies, the planning goodies, and then this one here in the marble. And then as we get to the end of that group, I've then got 3 more, again still from Tender Designs. These have got like a princess theme to it, kind of an Elsa / ice. It's hard to explain, but this is where I keep my unfoiled. This is probably the only unfoiled things on this shelf. These are my unfoiled thank yous and samplers that have come from various orders, and they are in that book. And again, at the end of that, I've got unfoiled thank yous. Then I move along here, and these are colour foil. So these might be things I've either printed myself or I've received in orders as thank yous, and they're colours other than gold, silver, or rose gold. So there's some Christmas baubles. There's a lot of pink foil in here that I might have even picked up at a show or received as thank yous, as I said earlier. And then the last one here is all of my foiled thank yous. So unlike the one I showed you earlier, which were the unfoiled thank yous, these are all my foiled thank yous. I love the fact that when I do order foiled products from a shop, that the thank you is also foiled and sympathetic to your order. I think that's just a sign of a shop doing a great job. So they're my foiled items up there, just in the 3 foils. Then this little separate one that I've got here, which is the middle of the albums. As I said, I've got 3 of these that came from the Little Thoughts store. And these are my Crafts by Towie. So this book has those separately, simply because they're some of my favourite icons, and I felt that they deserved a book of their own. So in this album, I've got the gold to the front, and the silver in the middle, and the rose gold towards the back. Again, they're in alphabetical order, and that's how I keep my Crafts by Towie. This little fellow here, which is the tiny one out of the kit, I have not used yet. So I've got a couple of albums here that I will keep for things as they come up going forward. And then moving along again on this pile shelf, which is basically 2 of what you're looking at, this is a little pack of Tickle Pink. Now, I don't normally use character stickers. They're not necessarily my thing, but if I was going to, the 2 that I really love are the Tickle Pink and the Mrs. Bandit. So I'm actually going to sort of get a couple of those and do a spread one day using some characters just for a bit of a change. Then I've got a small one with some Christmas and Easter foiled pieces in them. Now, I don't have a lot of these. I would like to improve my collection of these, but towards the front I've got the Christmas ones, and at the back I've got the Easter ones. And so that's just a little book of specific Easter and Christmas foiled icons. And that pretty well finishes that section that you're looking at. And I'm just going to try and move you across here. And so the remaining items, this is the one I told you about earlier, which is the collab for Sadie stickers. I still don't have anything in that one. And then I'm just showing you this one here, which again, this was in a gift pack that I got when I went to the local trade show that the sticker people had. And gosh, it was before COVID, so it's a little while ago. And this is my collection of Simply Gilded sticker kits. As you can see, I've sort of been collecting them and I haven't used them. And it's something I'd like to do. So I'm thinking, I've already got my stickers planned out for this year, but next year, out of the month, I might try and include one Simply Gilded sticker kit so that I start working through those, because they're really quite lovely and I would like to use them. And hoarding them is, well, I must admit I do like hoarding them, but they need to get used. So that's something that I've got to make an effort to do. Now this box that I'm just pulling into frame at the moment is just again another IKEA box, and I have that sitting on the end of my bench, and as mail comes in I collect it there to get ready for a haul. I think the haul will go up before this video, so you'll see the things in that box, but I do collect them over a couple of months and usually do a haul at the end. Now these are some little A5 folders that you'll get from your local Officeworks here in Australia, or Staples, or some sort of a stationery supply. Actually would have liked to have got the American ones, which for the A5 have got 3 rings and they're just a little bit sturdier. But this was all we had here, and the shipping on them was quite ridiculous, and I wanted to make this affordable. So what I've done here is my folders have got themes. So this one might be planning, I've got planner chic, I've got Easter, Christmas, Halloween. So there are various different themes, and this is summer and spring, for instance. Summer and spring are probably my favourite. So there's not a lot actually in this folder because I've already pulled them out and put them into another folder for the year's kits to use. And so that's how I use these A5 folders. So as they arrive in the mail, they'll go into these, and then at the beginning of each year I come along to a folder and I pop them in to date order for the yearly spread. I'll show you that in a minute. Now this rather chunky one, but still works, are my dividers. So these are A5 dividers. Some of them are, a lot of them are from Live, Love and Craft. Susie's done quite a lot of my dividers. I really do love them. And I keep them in there. And similarly to the folders that are after that, and you can see there I've got dashboards A5. I also have dashboards in personal, which tends to be the other size I use, and also some TN sizes. So they're all capped towards the end of there. Now when I said to you about putting away my yearly stickers, this is the book that they go into. And I've got them marked off with calendar dividers. So again, it's quite weighty, so I'm just trying to manage it to show you. But the dividers are marked for the months, and in each of the months I've already selected the kits that I'm going to use for that period of time. And then that is all done and they're set. I mean, obviously I can take them out and change them as I see fit. It's not set in blood, but I just mark them off on the little calendar at the front, and I don't have to think too much about what kit I'm going to use as I do each of my spreads. And you can see there, again, this one's labelled. This is Florals and Wiggles. So these are sheets that were really too big to go into the albums above them. So Stella Bow does these great wiggles, like Simply, no, what's the one that does them? Oh, I can't remember now, but they're quite a large sheet. They're great value. And I also put the Florina Papery Florals into this folder. So that's Florals and Wiggles because they're a little bit larger. It's another one of those albums from Little Thoughts, but at this stage I don't have anything in that one either. And then this is a favourite folder. This, I just made the cover myself for this one using some of the freebies. But this is Paper Shile or Toffee Bananas, they were originally. These are some of my favourite stickers. I love her doodles. And again, I've not used them enough. Because I love them so much, I tend to hoard them, which is really silly. I've decided that going forward, I am not going to hoard these things. I am going to get them used. Although, I mean, great plans, but nevertheless, look at that sheet. How gorgeous are those stickers? They're just so cute. And this is such a great group. They provide freebies that you can download. They're very fair with them and very reasonable, so I do make sure that I buy some as well. But those freebies helped me make the cover for this little album, and this album is dedicated wholly to Papershire. So after having a look through the Papershire album, which I'll pop back there with sort of a group of miscellaneous products, I suppose, I've got this one from GP Studio. So I got this in their anniversary bag, which was a really good one to get. Just marked on their miscellaneous. So these are the stickers that don't fit into the categories over there on the right that I've already got pre-sorted. They've just got an unusual theme to them, or perhaps they're just anytime stickers, and they tend to go into this one here. I know I've got a lot of live, love and craft in here, which is fine. I'm going to go through and use these. These could probably even go into the chic section, but there's just some like Alice in Wonderland. There's an Australian one that was done during the bushfires, which was lovely. And so they're in that little folder because, as I said, they sort of don't quite have a category that fits over there onto the bulk of my stickers on the right. So that's essentially my little PAL unit. I think it's PAL, it's P-A-A-L from IKEA, and that's how I've stored them. I was talking earlier about Mrs. Bandit. These are printables from Print Petticoat Bandit, one of my favourite printable shops, and I'm actually going to use one of those folders that are spare at the moment. And I had a print and cut day, and I printed up a whole lot of these little ones. And again, I'm going to try and do a spread and use some of the character stickers because I know people enjoy using those, and it's something I would like to do a little bit more of. So again, on my plan, as you can see, that little album's too small, but I'll find something that they'll fit into. And again, this is that little box that I showed you earlier that just has a few charms. I've actually got a little wall and some hooks that I keep my charms in, but that was full, and this is where the overflow's been going, and I keep that handy just for when I want to dress up a planner. So I'm not wonderful at moving the camera around, so please be patient with me as I take you through, but unceremoniously I'm sort of taking you up to another section. I'm just showing you a quick glimpse at how I store some of the other charms and paper clips. Now moving across to another spot in my room, this is a Rascog trolley. Now these are all of my unfoiled stickers. So I've just got a laminator and an A4 sheet of paper. I used some patchwork, or rather some scrapbook paper that I got from the local Spotlight store, and I made these little folders up. And I've again alphabetized, gone through and put little labels on them. And this is where the stickers go that are not foiled. So it's just a bit of a look at the folder. Rather than just putting dividers in where things would slip through, I've put sort of a little casement so there is a folder and they stick in there. So you can see at the moment, these are all the stickers for Sleep In. And these, as you can see, they're various different colours, and they are not foiled because all of the foiled Sleep In stickers are in those folders that I showed you earlier. So everything here is black and white in colour, but no foil. And they just pop in there. Before I got the folder for my leftover stickers, I also used to put my leftovers back into here, but some of them did get a little plump. So I've decided to do the used stickers in another folder, but they're pretty simple. They fit quite tidily into the two sort of acrylic inserts that are in there are two boxes called God Morgan, again IKEA, and they hold these two really quite well. They sit well in these containers and they're really handy. The desk that had the folders on them is if I were to spin this chair around directly opposite, so they're very handy. They're at an arm's reach and it works really well. So when I'm planning, I just pull this. I don't even have to pull it close really because it's very much within my reach. Moving behind those pile cupboards, which have got the most horrible green on the back of them, but they are, when I go into my new craft room, going to go against a wall so you won't see them. I've got another Rascog cart. So this particular Rascog has got all of a lot of the Simply Gilded sticky notes. I love little sticky notes and little notepads. There are some washi cards. There are some clips that fit on the planners and paper clips. Again, that's part of that God Morgan set that keeps some washi tapes. There's some stamps that I might want to pull in to sort of use in my planner. So these are various bits of stationery that have been collected that I quite enjoy. There's even some little sticky notes from Daiso in there. Towards the back of it are some Kiki K sticker books, and I've even sort of got some Kmart little bulldog clips, and then coming towards the front are more of the Simply Gilded, some of the prettier notepads and things that come with the subscription. So this little one is here for when I want to do notes or add things. You can see that horrible green in the background. And there's the larger sticker books that come from Kmart, the Paper Lovers books. All have their use, and anything that I don't use myself here, the grandkids love to play in this one. It's got quite a few bits and pieces that they can use and they can enjoy. Last but not least, the last piece of the puzzle. Now this book hasn't been decorated yet. I haven't done anything with it, but I do plan to. And this is just an A4 4-ring binder from your local stationer. And this is where I keep my leftover stickers. So I started off, I had some of those sticker books that you can buy that are just sort of spiral bound, but I just had too many stickers to really fit in those, and I was constantly having to get new ones. So I took the books apart and I've used those. I've also used the backing that come from my leftover stickers, and I've put them into this folder. So basically the things at the top are products that are foiled and the ones underneath are products that have not been foiled. So I'm just showing you there that you can see the foiling on those boxes. So each of the dividers down the right hand side are sections. So this particular section is boxes. So it's all sorts of boxes, half boxes, quarter boxes, boxes of all sorts of sizes and shapes, and those boxes go into that particular section there. I've got bows. It's all alphabetized as well, similarly to everything else that you've seen. And this is where I keep my leftovers. Now these are what I use to go into my weekly planners. There's another section here with deco, and as you can see, I use every inch of the space on these sheets and fill them up so that I can go quickly to a deco section. If I don't have something that I need, I can go through there, and 9 times out of 10 I'll find it in this stash. It's also great because these are not as precious as my kits, and so therefore I'm quite happy for the grandkids to have a little bit of a play with them and enjoy them in their little they've got planners of their own, and so they can use these sections if they want to. So when I've used a sticker sheet, I just pop it into this book, punch a couple of holes in it, which is pretty straightforward. This little hole punch that I'm using here came from Daiso. It was very, very inexpensive, and unfortunately this had a little piece of glued sticker paper caught in it, which was a bit of a pill. Normally I can go straight away and use that, but of course because I was filming, that wasn't going to happen on this day, was it? But generally speaking, I can just punch the holes in here, pop them into the 2 different sections in the book, and there they are. So the grandkids really do enjoy these, and as I said, if I get a kit that doesn't have headers and I particularly want to use headers, I pop into this header section and I've got plenty to choose from, and always enough to make up a spare kit. well, this section's not particularly glamorous, but I will, as I said, I will decorate this, and at a later date, perhaps when I've done all the changes that I want to make and got all of this sorted, I could do an updated video. But even though it's not glamorous, it is well used. It's practical. I don't have to buy a whole lot of stuff because I'm reusing the used backings of the sheets, which I think makes it fairly frugal, really. And again, as I've said in previous things, and particularly in my hauls, I want for future planners to know that they don't have to spend a ridiculous amount of money to be able to enjoy this craft and have some fun with it. So again, I'm just flipping through. Now those dividers, really good dividers. They were also at Officeworks, but they're a very heavy duty plastic. They're good and firm and strong. And I just made some little labels on my silhouette and popped them in to do my various dividers. So there's sections for flags, there's sections for movie marquees, washi, all sorts of things are in the folder. And when I'm finished a spread, I'm getting into the habit now of going straight to this folder and putting the leftover stickers away, because I hadn't done it for a little while and it was quite a mammoth job. I think my family thought I was going a little bit crazy. But nevertheless, they're done now, and it's much easier to keep it up if I keep at it weekly. So thank you for bearing with me through this little journey, and hopefully you've gained some inspiration from this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.